Hey Trick Class, let's look at this example of how to divide and multiply some complex numbers when they are in polar form. So when I say complex numbers, just make sure you see this I right here. These are the imaginary components of these complex numbers. So what we do in this case when we multiply the values out front, the r's if you will. I think of this as r cosine plus I sine. The 5 times the 10. And then inside the parentheses, we add arguments, the 3 pi over 8 and that pi over 8. So this will become the cosine of 3 pi over 8 plus pi over 8 would be 4 pi over 8. All right, but 4 pi over 8 reduces to pi over 2. So I would just write it as pi over 2 and then plus I times the sine. So that would be 50 cosine pi over 2 plus I sine pi over 2. All right, so there is the polar form. The exponential form is very similar, except instead of all the cosine and sine stuff, we just use e to the power of. So we'll do 50 and then e to the power of. We'll click this little button here, and then it's I times our argument. I times, and our argument here is pi over 2. So there's the polar form. There's the exponential form. Now when we divide, the only difference is we divide number out front, the 5 divided by 10, and then we're going to subtract the arguments. So the 3 pi over 8 minus pi over 8. So we're going to have 5/10. I'm going to simplify this on the next step. 5/10 parentheses cosine. Subtracting, I get 3 pi over 8 minus pi over 8 is 2 pi over 8. But just like before, that will reduce to simply just pi over 4. All right, and then we add to that I times the sine of pi over 4. Okay, the argument's going to be the same for both of these, the angle that is. All right, and then 5/10, that'll reduce to a half. All right, exponential form, same thing. We're going to have a 1/2 e to the I, and then my argument is pi over 4. So that's the two forms that we're looking for the quotient of these two complex numbers. All right, and there is the exponential form. So just remember, arguments, the angles on the inside are subtracted when we divide. They're added when we multiply. The numbers out front, the 5 and the 10 in this case, are multiplied when we're multiplying, divided when we divide.